Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Often overshadowed by his famous son, Mehmed the Conqueror, Murad II was the man who stabilized a teetering empire, crushed Crusader armies, and laid the essential groundwork for the conquest of Constantinople. His story is one of relentless warfare, surprising abdications, and a profound sense of duty. So, let's explore the dramatic reign of the Sultan who secured the Balkans and paved the way for an empire's golden age. Murad II ascended to the throne in 1421, inheriting an empire that was still healing. His grandfather, Bayezid I, had been defeated and captured by Timur at the Battle of Ankara 2 decades earlier, throwing the Ottomans into a brutal civil war known as the Interregnum. Murad's father, Mehmed II, had painstakingly stitched the empire back together, earning the title of the second founder. But this unity was fragile. As soon as Murad took power, challenges erupted from all sides. The most dangerous was a claimant to the throne named Mustafa Çelebi, who claimed to be a long-lost son of Bayezid I. Mustafa quickly gained a following in the European provinces of the empire, even minting coins in his own name. The Byzantine Empire had openly supported his rival, so Murad laid siege to Constantinople in 1422. It foreshadowed the ultimate goal that his son would later achieve. Throughout the 1420s and 1430s, Murad was almost constantly at war, consolidating Ottoman control in the Balkans. He fought against Venice for control of key port cities, and pushed deeper into territories like Serbia and Albania, bringing them under Ottoman vassalage or direct rule. It wasn't always glorious, but it was essential work that transformed the Balkans into a stable Ottoman heartland. But the greatest challenge to Murad's reign was yet to come. As the Ottoman shadow grew longer over southeastern Europe, the Christian powers of the West began to stir. This led to a series of conflicts that would define the second half of Murad's rule. The Crusaders, buoyed by some initial successes, pushed deep into Ottoman territory. Faced with this multi-front war and feeling weary from decades of constant fighting, Murad did something almost unheard of for an Ottoman sultan. In 1444, after signing a 10-year truce with Hungary, he abdicated the throne. He handed power to his 12-year-old son, Mehmed, and retired to a life of contemplation in the city of Manisa. He was tired of war and politics and sought peace, but peace would not last. Seeing a child on the Ottoman throne, the crusading powers saw their ultimate opportunity. Arguing that a treaty made with a Muslim was not binding, they broke the truce almost immediately and launched a massive invasion, marching towards the Black Sea port of Varna. The Ottoman Empire was in crisis. The Grand Viziers and senior officials, panicking at the prospect of facing the veteran Crusader army with a boy sultan in charge, sent urgent messages to Murad. They pleaded with him to return and lead the army. A famous, though likely apocryphal story tells of young Mehmed himself writing to his father, "If you are the Sultan, come and lead your armies. If I am the Sultan, I order you to come and lead my armies." Whatever the exact wording, the message was clear. The empire needed him. Driven by his unshakable sense of duty, Murad cast aside his retirement, returned to the capital, and resumed command. The two armies met at the Battle of Varna in November 1444. The Ottoman forces, led by the experienced Murad, faced the confident Crusader coalition. The battle was fierce and hung in the balance for hours. The Crusaders, led by John Hunyadi's cavalry, almost broke the Ottoman lines. But, in a pivotal moment, the young king Władysław of Poland and Hungary led a reckless, desperate cavalry charge directly at the Sultan's position. The elite Janissaries held their ground, surrounding and killing the king. With their leader fallen, the Crusader army's morale shattered. The battle turned into a rout, and the Ottoman victory was absolute. The Crusade of Varna was crushed. Murad had saved his empire from the brink of disaster, proving that even in semi-retirement he was the state's true protector. After this monumental victory, he once again tried to retire, leaving Mehmed in charge, but court intrigues and Janissary unrest forced him to take back the throne in 1446. His job wasn't done yet. John Hunyadi, the Hungarian general, was determined to avenge the defeat at Varna. He spent the next few years rebuilding his forces, forging another Christian coalition to challenge the Ottomans. In 1448, he marched south once more, seeking a decisive confrontation. The two great rivals, Murad and Hunyadi, met again on the historic plains of Kosovo, the same site of a major battle nearly 60 years prior. The Second Battle of Kosovo was a brutal, 3-day engagement. It was a tactical masterpiece by Murad II. Mehmed II. He used his veteran troops to absorb the initial Hungarian attacks and then, at the decisive moment, unleashed a devastating counterattack that enveloped and destroyed the Christian army. The defeat was even more catastrophic for the European coalition than Varna had been. The Balkan Christian states were crushed, and Hungary's military power was broken for a generation. The Second Battle of Kosovo permanently secured Ottoman dominance in the Balkans. For the next several decades, no serious European coalition would be able to challenge Ottoman power in the region. Murad had finally secured his European frontier. While his military victories are what he's most remembered for, Murad II's reign was about more than just warfare. He was a pious and cultured man, who presided over a period of significant cultural and architectural development. He was a great patron of the arts, poetry, and scholarship. Under his rule, the Ottoman Turkish language was promoted and began to flourish as a literary language. He commissioned mosques, bridges, and schools, particularly in the then capital of Edirne, transforming it into a vibrant imperial center. Unlike the more ruthless image of some sultans, Murad was known for his relative restraint and pragmatism. He preferred to secure his rule through treaties and vassal arrangements when possible, only resorting to full-scale conquest when necessary. His unique desire to abdicate the throne twice speaks volumes about his character. He wasn't a man who craved power for its own sake, but rather one who accepted its burdens out of a profound sense of responsibility to his state and his people. In 1451, after a long and exhausting reign, Murad II died in Edirne. He left behind an empire that was more secure, stable, and powerful than it had been in over half a century. He had successfully defended it against both internal rebellions and massive foreign invasions. He had pacified the Balkans, neutralizing any significant threat from Europe for the foreseeable future. He left the throne to a son, Mehmed II, who was now a young man, having already tasted power and learned hard lessons from his father's returns. All the pieces were now in place. Thanks to Murad's tireless work, Mehmed II could focus the empire's full military and economic might on a single legendary goal, the conquest of Constantinople. Just 2 years after Murad's death, his son would achieve that goal, earning the title the Conqueror and ushering in a new era for the Ottoman Empire. In conclusion, Murad II Boissaga was the indispensable bridge between the Ottoman Empire's recovery and its imperial zenith. He was a resilient warrior sultan who secured the foundations of the empire through his crucial victories at Varna and Kosovo. He was a pragmatic statesman who valued stability and culture, and a man whose sense of duty consistently outweighed his personal desire for peace. While his son may have captured the world's imagination by conquering the city of Constantine, it was Murad II who made that conquest possible. He was the great defender and consolidator, a sultan whose legacy is written across the plains of the Balkans and in the very foundations of the imperial might of the Ottoman Empire. Thanks for watching. If you found this deep dive into the life of Murad II interesting, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Let us know in the comments which historical figure you'd like to see us cover next. See you next time.